So I definitely agree that we should use anger in a useful way. So like the quote from Bell Hooks I really like. Um, and for me, this is something very different from being not angry. So to use the anger, so on the one hand, we could talk about accepting the anger, seeing the anger, accepting it, and using it for something positive. And I want to make a distinction between that and being not angry. And I'm focused on this because this is related to an argument made recently by Martha Nussbaum. And she talks about Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Mahatma Gandhi, who are all leaders who faced horrific oppression in different historical moments. And they're well known for being leaders who got through those challenges. Martha Nussbaum says that they were successful because they weren't angry. And this is something that Martha Nussbaum's not responsible for this, but in schools, people tell the story about Martin Luther King Jr. And they emphasize that he's always peaceful. He's never angry. He always has a positive spirit. Same thing with Nelson Mandela. The picture's painted that this person was always smiling. He was afraid of a rebellion at the end of apartheid, but he was just nice to everyone. He wasn't angry about apartheid or going to jail. So this story is told, but I just think this is way too simplified. Martin Luther King talked about having anger and using anger. And sometimes he was angry, and he did make speeches where he said, yes, people are angry. Let's use that anger. He never said stop being angry. Nelson Mandela has discussed a lot the anger that he has faced and the way that he's used it. So my concern is that if we have a very one-sided view that the answer is not ever to ever have any anger, if that's the lesson that we're teaching, this isn't realistic. And it's not as helpful as a slightly different message, which is simply that we see that anger and we try to do something good with it. So what Martha Nussbaum wants to say is that if people are too angry, at least I think this is what she wants to say, if people are too angry, then they're going to be irrational. So this is always the fear, is you're going to be irrational if you're too angry. But to me, that there's sort of three different paths. There's angry rage, psycho rage. Then there's just, I refuse to be angry no matter what. But I do see sort of a middle place where you have anger and you try to face that anger, and you understand that anger is a part of life, that people have anger. So I think it's really strange that students in school might be exposed to the idea that Martin Luther King Jr. never had anger. So, why should you be angry that you got punished? Because Martin Luther King Jr. was never angry. A very simple example, but I think some anger is okay, and it's much more healthy to learn how to use it in your garden, how to sort of sublimate it, to transform it to energy in different ways. That's the way Buddhists describe anger, and Buddhism again is another philosophy which is stereotyped as being cold, stoic, no anger, and there are different views. But a lot of people say the point, you can't actually get rid of all your anger. If you do, you might not be responding to a world where you should be angry sometimes. But the point is to really just take that anger and think about it and process it, and then do something positive with it.